Hi, I'm Billi Maddox and I'm gonna mess this up so that you don't have to.
Hey, what's up everyone? So look, I'm working on a new saber. Here's a sneak peek of it before any paint, but I've been getting a lot of questions as to what I buy, where I find my pieces. Well, let's do a little bit of shopping. Let's do you gotta fill your cart with a bunch of stuff here. Okay, look, this is my box full of parts, okay? But before I do that, I think I need to explain one crucial thing, and it is a seed piece. Now, I don't know if this is used in the sort of maker community. I don't know. This term, I sort of took it from the Lego world, but a seed piece is a piece that kind of inspires the rest of the build. It kind of sparks something. That little black ring right there is from a dollar store flashlight. And it sparked the whole thing. And then, you know, my own little brief of a thin neck and a thin waist. But here we go. Those details, kind of hard to see now without it being painted. But so let's get into this box here. Now, I've got everything from, this is like I think it might have been like a Valentine's Day Star Wars thing full of candy. Cut that bit up. Just regular PVC tubing. Various lengths. I usually work in 7/8 and 1 inch sort of inner diameters for all of these things. On the rare occasion I do jump up a bit thicker. This piece here, even though I wasn't able to use it in this build, was something that I did want to use and will be a future seed piece, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So I go to hardware stores, you know, I go to dollar stores. Usually I would say most of the materials that I use are cheap flashlights that I can cut up and, you know, PVC tubing. I try not to spend a lot. This is like a $3 flashlight I found at a big box store. It was metal. I'm looking for grenading. I'm looking for details. I'm looking for knurling. I'm looking for raised areas and things like these. What I'm looking for is interesting pieces. What's gonna look good and add detail to your saber, because you can build this all with PVC pipe, but everything's going to be smooth and everything's, you know, it's not going to have any sort of things. But yeah, as you see here, you know, I use these pieces in combination with each other. There's a much thicker piece. I wanted a big thick emitter. A thick boy emitter. Here's another one of these pieces with the clear bit. I don't know what these are used for. I don't know what they're called. Everyone asks me, what are these parts? Do you have like a parts list? I'm sorry, I don't, but I can show you what I'm looking at, and I can show you why I picked it. Look, here's something else. I've yet to use it, but I'm sure at some point this will be used. You know, it's a weird piece. It's got those little sort of bumpy things like grips, but then it's got like a choke there. This particular build that I'm going to show you was all built around a 7/8 inch tube, so it has like a core and everything is built around it, and then either friction fit, glued into place, or mechanically placed. You can also cut these pipes up and, you know, make your own little details that way, little shrouds and things like that. And I keep all manner of things. This was, I don't know, the internals of a flashlight or something, and it was a little ring to hold something in place, and it popped out when I was taking it apart, and I figured I'd keep it for something. But yeah, all of these things can help, eventually will help. This is the top of a Kewpie Mayo, bag. Have you ever had Kewpie Mayo? It's delicious. And then odds and ends and rubber pieces. On this saber that I'm building now that you see there, I used a lot of rubber pieces to keep things in place, so that's good to sort of hold on to. These are all the internals for the battery compartments for flashlights and things. Those are good for blade plugs and things. Okay, so these pieces here, these pieces are going to be the most interesting pieces in the plumbing aisle, but they suck. Why? Because they sort of move. They're sort of two pieces held together, and they don't work. But yeah, I keep all these odds and ends. This was an old hard drive, you know. I keep all of these things when I see some potential use in them, obviously. And I keep them in this little bin, you know. All of these things can be used at a certain point for something. So this is what I'm looking for. I really can't give you a list of parts. Here's a tip though, if you are cutting up any PVC, go ahead and make yourself a little, toilet paper roll or paper towel roll, little mock-up. This is an old saber that I did. I'll link that up top. And I cut that out first before I cut out the PVC, just so that I could get an idea of what shape I wanted. Here's another one of these pieces that looks really cool, but they will forever spin on you. There's no way to lock them in place. Well, I guess there is, but you know, too much of a headache. So if you see them, you're gonna want to buy them. Don't buy them. They're not gonna work. You want sort of stationary stuff. I also keep, you know, any sort of bits, any metal bits, any plastic little pieces, anything that could add a bit of detail to the outside once your saber is done. That's really the name of the game. It isn't, I can't really tell you like buy these 5 pieces and this will make you a lightsaber. You really got to go in there and just, you know, look at some parts and feel around and then start to sort of fit them together and see what works. It's really a trial and error situation. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking at. You know, I'm looking for textures, I'm looking for grenading, I'm looking for knurling, I'm looking for interesting details, raised areas, anything that will give my saber some more detail. And now I can just, I love having all this stuff out because then I can just do this. But going back to this piece, this will undoubtedly be the seed piece for my next saber, whenever that is. I couldn't get past those metal rings in there, but I'll figure it out because I want to do a crystal chamber with this since it's clear there in the middle. So this undoubtedly will be a seed piece for my next saber, whenever that will be. No promises, but that's definitely what I'm going to use. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Roll the thing.